and welcome back to Fan Fatales, a member of the Real Fans Network. I'm Emma.
And I'm Gaby, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about some Broadway topics. Long time since we've talked about it.
Yes. That's right, and today we will be discussing the Unofficial Bridgerton album.
And we're also going to be talking about some Broadway stage fails, as well as our own.
That's right.
So let's get it started.
Okay. So, the Unofficial Bridgerton album was produced by Barlow and Bear. Barlow is a 23-year-old flourishing singer-songwriter with the chart success of her independently released pop hit Heartbreak Hotel. Meanwhile, Bear, who is 20 years old, has had a rich career as an award-winning composer and piano prodigy who first appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show at age 6.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I had no idea.
Really? You didn't?
No, not a clue.
Huh. So then, after the Netflix smash hit Regency romance series graced our screens, Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear set out to answer the simple question: what if Bridgerton was a musical? They answered by composing and recording 15 songs in 6 weeks, live on social media in real time, with lead vocals by Barlow and orchestration, production, and additional vocals by Bear. The full track list for the Unofficial Bridgerton musical concept album includes 'Tis the Season, Lady Whistledown, If I Were a Man, Penelope Featherington, The Ruse, Fool for You, Alone Together, Entertain Me, Friend Turn Foe, Burn for You, Worker Bee, Every Inch, Burned Me Instead, Balancing the Scales, and Ocean Away. And the album is now Grammy nominated for Best Musical Theater Album, #1 album on the pop charts, #5 album on overall worldwide charts, over 10 million streams in 2 weeks on Spotify, and a top 10 Spotify album debut.
Yeah, this album is freaking amazing. And if you have not heard it,
Go listen to it.
Yeah, go listen to it right now.
Yeah.
Seriously, well, after you finish this podcast. Finish the podcast first.
Yeah.
Then go listen to it. Because it is amazing.
Yes.
Personally, my favorite song is Every Inch.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that one, too. I really like, I like The Ruse when they're doing the whole, she must be mine, she must be mine.
Okay, that one's good.
I love that moment because it's so, theater to me.
Yeah. I like an Every Inch. Or is that Every Inch?
Hold on.
Now it might be Alone Together. Actually, now I can't remember. Oh, it might be Alone Together. Or when they go,
together.
We could escape into
That's
the
Alone
paintings.
Together, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I like the colored in green, gilded in gold. I love that. It just gives me chills every time.
Yeah. And so Emily Bear was the one who sang Penelope Featherington.
Yeah. And everybody was like,
great
what?
Voice.
She's amazing.
Yeah. I love her.
Yeah, she's great. And she's 20 years old and we're 20 years old. So I'm like, wow, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Yeah,
we got something.
Yeah. I also love 'Tis the Season. It's just a great opening number.
It is. It has the perfect vibe of an opening number.
Yeah.
And I like the narration in the middle of it by Lady Whistledown.
I do too.
Also, if they don't get Julie Andrews to do the voice of Lady Whistledown in the Broadway production of Bridgerton, I'm going to be upset. It has to be Julie Andrews.
Who would you cast Abigail Barlow when they bring it to Broadway? If she was a Lin-Manuel Miranda situation where she cast herself in
Probably
Bridgerton on stage.
Probably Sienna, honestly.
I like her as Sienna. I also like her as the Queen.
I do too.
Me is so good.
So good. Although I think we need Ariana DeBose as the Queen.
Oh, yes.
Right?
She would be amazing.
She would be so good. Ariana DeBose as the queen, and then Abigail Barlow as Sienna. Also, I love in 'Tis the Season the scene between Antony and Sienna. I cannot stay, Sienna. Yeah. That chills. It's so good. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna listen to this like all day at work tomorrow.
Like Carrie Hope Fletcher, I would cast as Penelope Featherington.
Agreed.
Carrie Hope.
Agreed. Yep.
She would do such a great job.
So good. And then I think who would be okay? Well, we have to do like Daphne and Simon. Who are Daphne and Simon? See, Chris Jackson is Simon.
Yes. Or Jordan Fisher.
Jordan Fisher, though. Wait, Jordan Fisher, actually.
Jordan Fisher,
yeah.
And then I don't want to cast, like, someone who typically plays an ingenue as Daphne. If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, I get what you mean.
Why does Eva Noblezada come to mind? But
she plays an ingenue? What are you talking about? She's like the ingenue.
I don't know if Eponine is the ingenue. Or not Eponine. What the fuck am I trying to say?
Eurydice? She's such an ingenue.
I mean like Cosette or like Christine Dyer. I was like, Phantom of the Opera girl. What's her name?
Phantom of the Opera girl. Me too.
Well, I was like, Sierra kept on coming up. And I was like, no,
Sierra
that's
Bodges because of that one that I sent you.
Did she sing it? Oh, wait, no, you sent me a
TikTok.
Video. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also just like the most famous.
She's just really good.
I just had a great choice. And I know she plays like one of the most popular ingenues right now, like in musical movies.
Yeah.
But Rachel Ziegler as Daphne. You haven't seen West Side Story, have you? That's the only thing she's been in so far.
Ah.
Yeah. So she's like 18 years old. Just won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Leading Role in a Musical or Comedy.
Okay.
At 18 years old.
That's pretty impressive.
Very young talent. And Disney just cast her in another freaking live action remake that they're doing.
Which one?
Snow White.
Really?
And I think who the hell is? Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot? She's playing the stepmom, and it's gonna be a musical. And Pasek and Paul are writing music.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Same.
I think get some new original stories, Disney.
Yeah.
Come on, stop doing live action remakes. Figure something else out. It's infuriating.
But, yeah, Rachel Ziegler would be great.
Yeah. Or what about... Okay, hear me out. What about Sierra Bodges as... Oh my gosh, what's her name? Daphne's mom.
Yes!
Her as Daphne's mom, and then Rachel Ziegler as Daphne.
That would be amazing.
Yes. We should be writing this down.
Yeah,
because I forgot which ones we've already cast.
We've cast the Queen.
Yes.
Ariana DeBose.
Uh-huh.
Simon as Jordan Fisher.
Uh-huh.
Daphne as Rachel Ziegler. Daphne's mom as Sierra Bodges.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Lady Whistledown as Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Just the voiceover part.
Yeah.
That's like the one actress we're going to keep from the original. Okay.
And Carrie Hope Fletcher as Penelope.
Oh, yeah. And then who for Eloise do you think?
I don't know.
I feel like it needs to be someone kind of young.
It does.
You know?
Who?
It is, oh my gosh, what is her name? Presley
Ryan?
Yes.
She'd be great.
Her.
I
Thank you. I'm terrible with names. But yes, her. And then Jeremy Jordan as Anthony.
Yeah.
Gotta get him in there.
Yeah. I'd also like to see Darren Criss in there because he, like, sang so many songs with them.
What about Colin?
He'd be a great Colin.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. He would be so cute as Colin. And then, like, Hyacinth and all them can be, like, new actors, like the babies.
Yeah, or just bring in Music Man cast.
Yeah. Like, the younger kids can be just, like, new actors.
Yeah.
And then, like, who should be Lady Featherington?
Ooh. This was a weird choice that just came into my head.
Go for it.
And I don't know how I feel. Idina Menzel.
Yes.
I don't know why that works.
It works. It totally works. That's bizarre. And then what's the cousin's name who comes to live with them? Alana?
Oh, the one that spoiler gets pregnant?
Yeah, her.
Lady Weatherington's cousin.
What is it? Alyssa?
Marina.
Marina!
Marina Thompson?
Why did I thought it started with an A?
I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, it's Marina.
It's definitely Marina.
Yeah. Oh. Why did I think it was an A? Okay, who should be her? I am too. I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah.
What about what if we have like a new face as her? Like somebody
I like that.
I like the idea of her being like a not well-known, like new person coming into the theater world. I like that.
Yeah.
What?
One of the questions under people also ask about Marina Thompson when you look it up on Google is, who is Marina Thompson's baby daddy?
Fair.
That's a fair question.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't expect it to be worded that way.
Yep.
What about very awkward. Benedict?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. That should also be a new actor. I feel like this should be like a mix of like new actors and like, you know, like some of the most well-known people. And then like some people that are like kind of well-known just like in the middle, you know?
Yeah, like Presley Ryan and...
Yeah, but also tell me why Anthony Ramos just came to mind.
Yeah. I'm not his biggest fan right now, so...
Yeah. I don't know. Also, I think one of the moms should also be, oh my gosh, what is her name? Lindsay...
Mendez?
Yes. She should also be one of the moms.
Hold on. Why did the name just... Jasmine Cephas Jones.
Yes.
For Marina.
Yes. Yes. But I also like the idea of having some new people in there. So, like, either one works. So, okay. Now that we got that out of the way. Also, some of these, every single song on this album is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
There is not one song that I skip.
I sometimes skip Worker Bee.
I love that song. It's so cute. She's so excited.
I know she is.
It's so cute. I love that one. I absolutely
I just
love
don't like
Entertain
where that
Me.
song is placed.
Yeah, I think it's placed really awkwardly, but I think they needed something. They need like something in between Burn For You and Every Inch. There needs to be a passage of time.
Song. Oh, which brother's the one that like starts doing arts? That's Colin, right?
Starts doing art?
Yeah.
I thought that was Benedict.
It's definitely Benedict.
Because Colin is like going after Marina and Penelope's like, hey,
yes.
Hey.
Yes, Benedict is the one that does art. Maybe doing something with him.
That would be cool. Or like another song between Anthony and Sienna.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Benedict just has no songs right now.
Yeah. Which is fine.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think he needs something. There needs something else in there just to show the passage of time between Burn For You and Every Inch. If Burn For You is like when they're like first getting there at the honeymoon, right? And it's when he says like, you have no idea how it feels to burn for somebody and know that they will never love you back, or whatever.
Isn't it that he Daphne says. Who actually says it in the show?
No.
I thought it was, because the actor played Simon. He's like, yeah, I never actually said that line. Like, I never said burn for you when they were doing the song.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
But, and then I think Every Inch is supposed to be all the stuff that comes after that. You know, like when they're like doing it outside in the rain and like just doing it everywhere. That's the most PG way I could think of to bring it up.
It is Daphne's line is, I burn for you.
Cool.
I found it. But yeah, I don't know.
Burned Me Instead also
so
hurts so bad.
Yes.
So bad. And so does Balancing the Scales. Every song. So good. So good. So freaking good. Fool For You, I almost sang that for an audition. Like,
really?
So good. Yeah, I found the sheet music online.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good. I think I'm going to add it to my book anyway. Nobody else add it to your book now. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. So, do you have any other last thoughts about the Bridgerton album? Anything else you want to share?
Okay. I wish that they did get a male voice in.
Me too. I think, hear me out.
Darren Criss, he was already singing all their songs anyway.
Yeah, re-record it with Darren Criss.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we might just have to wait till they turn it into the real Broadway musical.
Yeah. But what just I heard was Friend Turned Foe, and like some of the songs like that just got like confusing at points. Like who's singing?
I think part of it is that they're like, Netflix doesn't really want to do it yet because I think they want to do a second season.
Yeah, the second season comes out this year or sometime.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why Netflix is like really apprehensive about having them like actually put it on Broadway.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, just let them do it, bro. It's already done. Just let them do it. It's so easy. Please, it'd be so good. Anyway, those are our thoughts about that.
Yes.
So before we get into some of these like fails and mishaps, we have a little bit of a word from our favorite sponsor today, and that's going to be from Audible.
Yes. So I have listened to the Hamilton, the Revolution book, which is by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Jeremy McCarter, and narrated by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Jeremy McCarter, and Mariska Hargitay.
Mariska Hargitay, as in Agent Benson from SVU. Like, what?
It's really good.
I'm so confused.
So this book talks about, like, the backstage stuff that happened when they were making Hamilton into a musical, from its original concept to, like, casting the OG cast and, like, that first Washington, D.C. Performance for Barack Obama, to opening night and, like, the field trips that would come out just to watch, like, Hamilton for, like, $10. And it sounds like a really awesome book. I'm definitely going to have to give it a read. Narrated by Lin-Manuel Miranda himself.
Yes. So, yeah, you guys, if you want a 30-day free trial of Audible, go ahead and click that link down below, or you can go to www.audibletrial.com/fanfatales. That's www.audibletrial.com/fanfatales. And if you follow that little linky link and get all set up with Audible, you get a 30-day free trial, and you get 1 book credit, and you get 2 if you're a Prime member. So, you know, Prime is the best freaking thing ever, right?
Yeah.
Prime is my favorite thing. Everything gets shipped to me on Prime. Literally, I have an Amazon Prime box sitting right in front of me while I'm talking about this. That's how much we love Amazon Prime in my house. There is always an Amazon Prime box at our door.
There's one just off camera.
Yeah. And you guys, Audible doesn't only have Audible books or audiobooks. They also have a huge catalog of podcast and guided wellness. And you can listen all you want to those podcast and guided wellness programs. No credits needed. So, it's 2022. The year just started. If you want to get on some self-help, get yourself being the best you can be, go and listen to those on Audible. No credits needed, you guys. And my favorite thing about Audible is that they send you a little email reminder when your trial is about to be over. Because, most companies, they don't give you that. They just say, oh, trial's over. Okay, we're going to charge you $20 now or $7 now or whatever it is. And then a year later, you realize you've been paying for this service that you never even used in the first place.
Yep.
So Audible sends you an email reminder when your 30 days are up, which I think that's my favorite part. Plus, you can cancel at any time. When you're like, I think I've read all I need to read, you can end it if you're ready. But I highly recommend that you listen to our recommendations because we got some really good recommendations.
Yeah.
So, once again, that's www.audibletrial.com/femfatales. The link is going to be down below in the description of this episode. So yeah, go listen to some audiobooks, people. Get that self-help you need. Yes. Or don't need. I don't know what you got going on. There's also podcasts. Podcasts are good. You're listening to a podcast right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop because I'm rambling like crazy. Let's move on.
Okay, so these first little bit of Broadway stage mishaps and on-stage mishaps and flubbed lines is from a Playbill article called 60 Actors Reveal Their Worst Flubbed Lines and On-Stage Mishaps. So the first one is Jennifer Laura Thompson. The infamous bubble that transports Glinda in Wicked to the stage did not work in the opening number. She was stuck 40 feet in the air while cast members on stage repeated, she's coming, it's Glinda, she's coming.
Okay. I love this one, but it also sounds like a giant euphemism.
I hate you.
Come on! I mean, they're just standing there going, she's coming, Glinda's gonna come, here she is, like, come on.
Oh my god.
Imagine how awkward that would be.
And you yelled at me in the Encanto episode for what I said.
This is way, way, way more prevalent. Not prevalent, but more in your face, obvious. I don't know.
Okay. Whatever.
I'm sorry.
So this next one is from Les Mis, and it was Randy Graff who played Fantine. Mm-hmm. And she was doing the death scene as Fantine, and Colm Wilkinson, who was Valjean that night, missed his cue to come out and carry her to the hospital bed. So she sang her part and let the music go by for his part and dragged herself into the bed, her dying body into the bed. And when he made it onto the stage, he kept apologizing in her ear between his vocal phrases.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine seeing just the dying Fantine making
drag
it to
herself?
The bed? Drag herself to the bed?
Oh my gosh.
And some of these I chose just because of you. And this next one is an In the Heights one.
Okay.
So it's Joshua Henry. He was on as Benny in the Heights, and he flubbed one of the Spanish to English lyrics in the song Sunrise, with the amazing Mandy Gonzalez laughing in his face while Lin-Manuel Miranda was shaking his head in the wings.
I love it. I could totally picture Lin-Manuel Miranda just being like, this guy.
A little bit off topic, but Lin-Manuel Miranda and Les Mis. Did you see the clip of him backstage doing the guard part? You at the barricade listen to this?
No.
I have to send it to you. It's the funniest thing because he's so into it. And then right after he's done, he's just like, yeah, I did it.
Okay, you'll have to send it to me.
Funniest thing. Okay. So the next one is Kelly O'Hara. She said that there are many good choices, but the worst was during Follies on Broadway. And she was thrown on for a role with no rehearsal, obviously feeling like a nervous wreck. Things were going fairly well, and she was down in the quick change area halfway into her next costume when she heard her cue line over the monitor. She had forgotten a whole scene.
I've done that.
Thankfully, it was Blythe Danner and Treat Williams making up for my absence on stage. They handled it with ease, but she's never gotten over it.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before. I feel like everybody's done that at least once.
So I've never done that, but it happened to me while I was on stage, and I had to cover for someone.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get to my bit when I did that. We'll get there.
I didn't even, write that one down because it wasn't, too big of a thing.
Mine's pretty big. Okay. We'll get there.
Sutton Foster, she says probably in Millie when Mark Kudesh, Gavin Krill, and her were all doing a scene at the end of the show called Scooby-Doo. She got the giggles and the entire scene went down in flames. Mark made us start the whole thing over again while the audience just laughed at us.
Oh, poor Sutton.
And then the last one I'm going to talk about from the article is Josh Gad.
Who was he in Spelling Bee?
I don't know who he was in Spelling Bee.
I feel like he was like Barfay or something.
Here, Spelling Bee. Let's see. He was Barfy.
I knew it.
Which, you know who originated that role, right?
No.
Jacob from Fantastic Beasts.
Dan Fogler. No way!
Yeah.
That's cool. I could totally see Josh Gad doing that too.
Yeah, same. Yeah. So Josh Gad says in his first week in Spelling Bee, he not only forgot to spell the last word in the show, but he forgot the word he was supposed to spell.
Oh no.
And he just started shouting out consonants.
I love it.
So these next ones are from 2 videos, both from TPM Vids.
And we'll link all the articles and videos in the description of this episode.
So I did one of your favorites. It's in the next video.
I noticed. Talk about that one. I'll talk about it because that is my absolute favorite one ever.
Yes, and I'll give my little fact I know about that one.
I also have one other one that's not on here. It's just a funny moment, but I'll talk about it after.
So this one is from a community theater production of Les Mis. It is in the moment in Act 2 where, spoiler alert, Eponine gets shot and is dying in Marius's arms. In the clip of the video, it looks like Marius went to go ignite the blood pack. When they start the song, you know?
And did he just smack her in the chest?
Not smack her, but
Yeah, he pushed on it so it exploded.
Yeah, pushed on it, and it exploded so much, you just saw the blood,
Poof.
It was the funniest thing, and Eponine and Marius were, couldn't hold it together.
Yeah.
So they were laughing the entire time.
Because it just, Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like when cartoon characters explode, and it's they peel away from the explosion. Yes, it's the outline of
I know when I did Les Mis, our Eponine just had a shirt that she changed into right before that scene, and it was the bloody shirt.
Our Eponine didn't even have that. Our Eponine was just ugh.
No, she had a bloody shirt, but we didn't have blood packs because we feared that thing.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I think ours, she wore the trench coat. And she didn't take the trench coat off until after she got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That pretty much happened with us, too.
Yeah.
But I think she had another shirt just in case, it peeked through the trench coat kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So this next one is from Disneyland, and it's from the Disney Hyperion's Frozen musical. It is when Elsa is singing Let It Go, and right at the quick change moment into her ice dress, the lights go down. And she's, struggling with the string to get the ice dress to, fall out. And it doesn't come out in time. So you see her, struggling to pull the string as she, continues to sing the song.
Yeah, and she handles it like a champ.
She handles it so well.
So well. She just keeps going, and she keeps going, and the dress finally lets go, and the audience, erupts in cheers.
I know.
It's amazing.
Yes. So your favorite one?
Okay. So, I love this one. So in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, the stepsisters are singing A Lovely Night after the ball, and one of the stepsisters, I can't remember which one, but she's the one in pink. I don't know what the names are, but...
Oh, I don't either, and my sister's in a production right now, and my university's also doing a production.
I don't remember which one it is, but it's the one in pink. She runs up to the other one, and she looks like she's gonna, like, go, like, hip bump the other one. Yeah. But she's hop skipping and then like goes to like hip bump the other one during her solo, and she knocks herself pretty much like face first onto the stage, like smashed into the stage.
So
but the best part is her reaction, because she like gets up and she's like, oh my god, like what, like it was her sister's fault, like the face is just like shock, pure shock. It is so good.
And so I was watching the Disney Plus show Encore, which like brings back like high school theater groups like 50 years after they've done a musical or whatever. I was watching their Beauty and the Beast one, and I forget what high school it was, but it was the same high school that did this production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella.
Yes.
And their Mrs. Potts, who, like, ended up hurting herself in the rehearsal process for the Encore show, she was like, yeah, I fall on stage all the time. And then it showed that clip. And she was the stepsister that fell, and I gasped audibly. My mom and I watched that show together. I was like... She's the famous stepsister.
I love that gif. It is my favorite gif. Anytime I fail at anything, I use it. That's my favorite thing. I love it.
You know what my other favorite fall on stage that I didn't include in this is? Is the production of Wizard of Oz, where you see the little Toto just like running across the stage, and he just like falls off the stage.
Oh my gosh, yes. And he falls into like the orchestra pit, right?
Yeah, he goes like it's like a cartoon fall.
It's so funny. It's just like like that, okay, like you know when like it's like, you know when like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote like run off the cliff, and Roadrunner runs off the cliff, but then Wile E. Coyote follows him and he like hangs in midair for a second and then he falls. That's what it's like. Dog. Yes.
You know what the other one that I almost included that I didn't was the Into the Woods production,
where she fell down the stairs?
White. No.
Oh.
This was I followed the guy who played Jack in that production on TikTok. I forget his name though.
Okay.
TikTok. But he's being startled by the mysterious man. It's early on in the show, and he's holding Milky White, and he's like, "Oh, strange spirits." And he goes to like turn to the mysterious man, and Milky White's like falls into the audience and just like waves the audience.
Milky White just yeets into the audience.
And then you see the audience member try to like put it up slowly. Yes. And Jack covers it, looks at the old man and goes, "She'll be fine."
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. There are videos of just Milky White fails, and it is the best video. We
could do a whole episode on that.
Literally, on just Milky White fails, because they're so good. Like the ones where the heads fall off, or they like go to feed the cow the stuff, and it like won't go in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones.
I have an Into the Woods fail.
Okay.
It doesn't include Milky White, though.
I know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you really quick, one more Milky White fail. Have you seen the one where he like whips around and the leg flies off?
That's the one we were just talking about.
No, there's another one.
There's another one?
I thought there was another one. I thought there was two. I thought there was one where like the whole Milky White goes, and then there's one where just the leg falls off. Were you talking about the leg or the whole? Okay.
I was talking about the leg.
Okay, sorry, I missed that bit. I thought you were talking about the one where the whole Milky White falls into the audience.
I haven't seen that clip.
Oh, yeah. The whole Milky White just like, yeet! It's, oh my gosh, it's so good.
I think because of how our Milky White was made, we didn't have any problems.
Ours was a person when we did it in high school.
In high school, ours was a person, and the girl went in an audition and went, "I want to play Milky White."
Same.
And the director was like, well, I was going to do a puppet. But okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened at ours. She walks into her audition, and they're like, okay, what are you going to do for us? She's like, I want to play Milky White. And then she got on all fours and just went, moo, 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 and then stood up, and she was like, thank you.
I think that's pretty much what she did.
I honestly think that, like, more people should audition for the part of Milky White. I think it's really cute when they have, like, a person playing Milky White.
So ours was, like, on stilts kind of thing. I'll have to find a video of our... Hold on.
Our Milky White just like walked like a person. The only time she was on all fours when they were like stopped, like when they walked, she just walked on her feet, and she had cute little space buns. It was really cute.
It's a video though, so like it's gonna be hard. Hold on. So she will be showing up just like there she is. You can't really see her.
Not really.
But she's like on stilts kind of thing.
That's really weird.
Where it's like it's like one of those like cow mascot costumes, but instead of two people, it's like a one-person one.
That's so weird.
We'll post a picture of it on the Fan Fatale's Instagram.
Okay.
But this last one
is amazing.
So this one brings us back to Broadway, and it's amazing. From Shrek the Musical. And the cast was doing Lord Farquaad's big number, and Lord Farquaad's leg falls off. Yeah. So, like, to preface this, the actor is on his knees the entire show, so it's like the fake legs for the Lord Farquaad costume. And one of them just falls off, and the guy who's playing him just picks it up and he starts using it as a microphone.
Mm-hmm. And it is amazing. It, like, sounds anticlimactic, but, like,
it's so funny.
He does it so well, and it is just so good. And then doesn't he, like, try to, like, hop off?
I think he does.
Like, or he, like, hobbles off so that it looks like he's kind of hopping.
Yes.
Which, honestly, I could never be Lord Farquaad. The kind of, like, damage that it does to your knees must be infuriating.
Oh, I have so much damage already to my knees because of theater. I can't imagine.
Same.
Mine is all because of Les Mis.
Same!
Mine is because I was a prisoner in the opening number.
Oh, I was a beggar. I crawled around that whole number.
I had that, when I get free, you won't see me here for dust. That solo. That one?
We'll get to what mine was, because that's one of mine.
Okay. Mine is actually not. Mine was technically started with Camp Rock, but it got worse because of Les Mis.
Okay. So, we're going to talk about some of our personal theater fails, because there are a lot. Yeah. And so, yeah. The first one is mine, is a story for strike. Actually, it's not like a show one. It was like during strike, so like that's when you like take the set down and you like put everything away. And does your theater do the whole like Newsies strike? No. We do that, like the Newsies strike thing that they do in season 8. We do that. Yeah, we don't do that.
Okay.
So we were doing it. Strike, and I think it was for Drowsy Chaperone or something similar, but I remember it was like one of my first or second years in high school, and I had this ginormous like 8-foot long 2x4, and me and another person were carrying it, and we went to go put it on like this pile of wood that we used to have in our scene shop at my high school.
Yes.
And so like I went to go put it on the pile of wood, but it like my partner dropped it, and I wasn't, like, ready to drop it. And so my fingers got caught underneath the 2x4 and got smashed between that 2x4 and another 2x4 on the pile. And my finger, like, instantly blew up and was red and swollen and huge. And everybody thought I had broken my finger. Even just talking about it now was like, ow!
Yeah.
It was fine. It was just bruised for, like, I don't know, probably a week. But it was really bad. Everybody thought I had broken my finger.
Yeah.
That one was fun. Do you want to go like 1-1?
Sure, I don't have as many, but I also have some from Kara.
That's fine.
Or I have one from Kara that's pretty funny. So, this was a tech rehearsal. This wasn't even a performance. It was the final dress before we opened when I was in Oliver. We do the first couple scenes and we get to Mrs. Sowerberry, who is one of the roles I played, who is the wife of the funeral parlor that Oliver is sold to. Mm-hmm. So being that she's, funeral parlor owner, there are coffins on our set. And one of them, the lid could open so, we could do choreography with it and, show it off and kind of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I went to go do it and open it up, because I was always the person who did it, the lid fell off the hinges. It just was in my hand. I think I dropped it. I think I looked at my, stage husband, Sam, and I was like, what do I do with this? And it dropped. It just dropped out of my hands. And I was like, okay, we're going to do the rest of the scene. And in the next scene, I'm supposed to put Oliver in the coffin to, lock him up. So, we didn't have the lid. This is the final dress before we open. And the girl, I went to go, do, what we had done in rehearsals with the stupid choreography to, get that down with the music. And the girl who plays Oliver, she just grabbed my arms as I went down and started wrestling me. And I was like, oh, we're doing this now. So I, had to, pin her down. That's not the only thing that happened at this dress rehearsal. I call this dress rehearsal the terrible seas for a reason. So the coffin broke. Right. So then we get to the Act 2 opener, which is Papa, which is Nancy and her friends and, the bar patrons all having a good time. Think Master of the House or Gaston or, any bar song in a musical. And, we're all happy. And as soon as that song ends, we get introduced to Bill Sikes, who is the villain of the show. And he's this very bad dude. He is an abusive husband who ends up killing his wife at the end of the show. And he has a cane that, is a very important prop because he beats her to death with it. And he goes to slam it to scare some of the bar patrons away on the table. No. And it breaks in half. So the cane is now broken. So now we're up to two things. And after Papa and, all that stuff, we get into, a whole scene, where we're okay, we have to get Oliver back because plot. I forget exactly why. Oh, just plot. Because he, was with the criminals, so, and now he's with a rich man, so they don't want to get caught for crimes. So they're let's steal Oliver back. So we're getting to the song Who Will Buy, which is when Nancy and Bet, who was the other character I played, Bet, go and, kidnap Oliver. Mm-hmm. And that, the scene before it was done all in front of the main. We went to go open the main to start that scene, and it got stuck. So the tag had to spend the rest of our final dress trying to get the main unstuck, while we did it on, the front part by the front of the stage.
Oh my gosh.
So we had no set to work with on our final dress before we opened.
Fun.
That was my senior year of high school.
I love that. Okay.
I'm so sad because I love my Bet dress and I don't have any good pictures of it in Act 2 because they took them all at the final dress rehearsal.
Lame.
And not during an actual show.
Yeah.
So all of them are just me 5 feet from the camera.
Lame.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 parts to this one. I mean, it's 2 different incidences, but 2 different incidences, but same general scope of what happened.
That's my next 2 as well.
Okay, cool. So, the most notable one for this one, at least in my memory, is when I was in middle school, I was Paulette in Legally Blonde, and I loved playing Paulette. But there's a scene, the scene when Paulette and Elle and not Warner,
think of another another mishap that happened. It has to do with Legally Blonde.
Okay. So you know the scene when like Paulette and Elle and not Warner, what's his name?
Emmett.
Yes, thank you, Emmett. Go to get Paulette's dog back from Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Rufus.
So, yes. So, in that, I like misjudged how much time there was between Ireland and that scene. Okay. And it's really only like a scene. It's like not even 5 minutes. And our dressing room was our theater class, like our theater room, which was like, I don't know, it was like a short walk, like a 3-minute walk from the theater itself. And so I like walked back and I had to go change and get my shoes. So I just like casually walked back and then I got distracted either doing something or I couldn't find something. I can't really remember what happened. And I ended up being late and our stage manager like ran, like sprinted, or assistant director or somebody like was sprinting and they got me and they're like, Gabby, you're on right now. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, go. And so I sprinted to the stage. I didn't have any shoes on. I literally just had I barely had my overalls on that I was supposed to wear. I was putting them on as I was running. No shoes, literally neon orange socks. Running on stage, get on stage, and Elle goes like, oh, are you ready, Paulette? And the line is supposed to just be like, no. But I was like, I was so frazzled from having to like run, literally sprint from the other room that I went, yeah, no, because I completely forgot what was supposed to happen. And the rest of the scene was just an absolute disaster. The dog didn't want to come out from behind the trailer. Oh my gosh. It was a mess.
Should I go in with my Legally Blonde story real quick?
Sure.
To kind of break them up. So this is during, what's the opening number called? Oh My God, You Guys.
Yeah.
That song. And it is when the sorority girls are all like, oh, look, it's Bruiser. Let's go talk to him about, like, where Elle is. Mm-hmm. Our Bruiser hated the girl who was playing whatever sorority girl was supposed to be, like,
Pilar?
Translating from him. Yeah, Pilar. And, like, would not come to her. And there was one night where it was like a solid 2 minutes of vamp of us trying to get Bruiser out. Before he came out. And I think it was opening night.
Oh, no.
So our Bruiser, his owner was in the show, just like our Rufus. Mm-hmm. But our Bruiser's actual owner in real life was our Emmett. Okay. So, like, every Elle and Emmett scene that they had together with Bruiser there, he was just, like, trying to go to his owner. Like, you can see it, obviously, in the video. Like, in, like, the chip on my shoulder bedroom scenes with Elle, you could see him, like, trying to, like, go over to his owner and not be with this blonde girl.
Oh. Yeah, because, like, in our production, we had 2 Bruisers and we had 2 Rufuses.
No, we had 1 and 1.
Okay. Our Rufuses were twins, and they were both Alaskan Malamutes.
Okay. And ours was a rescue dog by our actress who played Paulette.
That's cute.
And it was a husky. Her name was Mishka.
Yeah, Enid was the one who owned our Rufuses.
Okay.
And there was 2 of them, so it was perfect. So, like, every night there was always a giant white dog. But our Bruiser, like, in the video for the show, they cut it from different nights. So,
yeah.
In one scene, Bruiser's a Chihuahua. In the next scene, it's a black poodle. So, like, totally different.
Hold on. But this little Chihuahua that we had for our show that played Bruiser, his name was Zeus.
Oh, I love it.
It's the cutest thing.
I don't remember any of the names, but yeah, that was that.
It was Zeus and Mishka, and I love Mishka so much. Shout out to Katrina if you're listening.
So my other, missed cue thing was that when I was stage managing Disenchanted, actually, this is my sweatshirt from that show, Disenchanted. It's really cute. It's such a good show. It's really good. So there is this one cue in Tiana's song, Finally, that I missed every single night of tech, oh gosh, what are they called? I haven't done theater in so long, I can't even remember what it's called. But when you do, the soft opening.
Oh, like a guest opening or whatever.
Yeah, like
invited
dress or whatever.
Invited dress. Yeah, invited dress.
Yeah. We had, so every tech rehearsal, every invited dress, every show, with exception of like 2 at the very end of the run. And it was this cue that basically, like, when the music swells and comes up and does like the music comes up and is all jazzy, like, we're supposed to get like disco lights.
Okay.
And every time I forgot, because it was at the very top of the page, like, I had Q69 and then like a few seconds and then Q70. So, like, every time I missed it because it was at the very top of the page. So then, like, the first night I missed it, I just like highlighted it with yellow. And then the second night I missed it, I wrote 70 next to it in like slightly larger font in like neon orange Sharpie that showed up in my black light. And then the next night I like circled the 70 with the highlighter. The third night I wrote 70, or the fifth night I wrote 70 in like neon green Sharpie. I put stars next to it. Like, the whole freaking page was just Q70. And so, yeah, just like neon, and it's enormous, like took up the whole page or the whole half of the page, because I kept missing Q70, and then Q72 every single time without fail. I would do it like no problem. So I don't know why Q70 just never stuck in my head.
I'll do a missed Q story next.
Okay.
And I call this one "Where's the Witch?"
Okay. I love how you have like names and mine are like, the time I did this, the time I did that.
So this is when I was assistant stage manager for Into the Woods back in 2020. And we had just finished the Act 2 opener, and everyone is like heading into the woods, you know.
Yeah.
And right after that, there's a Rapunzel and witch scene, which is like very awkwardly placed to begin with.
Oh, super.
You know, where like the end of it is like Rapunzel standing up to her mom and who's like, "No, you left me in the swamp with twins and blinded my prince, and I'm not going with you. You're crazy."
And you cut off all my hair.
Yeah, and you cut off all my hair. And she's like screaming deliriously to start that scene. Well, our witch, this was our final performance. I forgot to mention this in my notes for it, but this was our final performance of the show. And our witch completely forgot that scene. So what would have been that scene was just Rapunzel screaming like a madwoman and then running off stage. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't our final dress. It was the one that Sean went to. So it was our Saturday matinee.
Okay.
So we had 2 more after that. So then, like, I was, like, hounding her. I was like, "You cannot miss it. We have a Saturday evening in, like, 3 hours. You are not missing this cue."
I love it.
That was when I was starting to get into Snow White, because I was Snow White in the finale.
Uh-huh.
So I, like, pushed her out as I'm being corseted into the dress.
Smart.
Yeah. But that was fun. Especially because our Rapunzel, that was her first musical she ever did.
Oh, that's fun.
And her sister was playing, I guess, technically her sister-in-law, because she was Baker's wife.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to play Rapunzel or Cinderella. They'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, next one. This is about this time when I missed bows. This necessarily isn't much of a, like, funny story. I don't know. I just, like, I always share this story because it, like, I don't know. I just felt really bad.
Yeah.
This made me feel really bad when I was a kid. And, like, everybody was like, no, it's okay. It's like, you're fine. It's okay. Like, don't worry about it. But, like, I'll get there. So, I was, like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 when I did this show called Ragtime. And I love that show. It is a gorgeous show. The music is beautiful. The story is tragic. Just, it's so good.
It is.
And when I was a kid, until I was about, like, I don't know, maybe 13, maybe 14. I was probably 12 or 13. So it must have been before I was 12. So anyway, I used to get, like, really bad nosebleeds, like, insanely bad. Like, bloody noses just, like, all of a sudden for no reason at all. So, like, I was standing in the wings, like, lined up, ready to go for bows, and I was playing a role called the little girl, and she's, like, she's, like, a main-ish character. Yeah, she doesn't say anything or, like, sing anything, but she's, like, constantly on stage following her dad. So she's in a lot of stuff just, like, there.
Yeah.
So she has, like, a few lines. Anyway. So, we're, like, in line to, like, go on for bows. And, like, we were one of the last groups to go. Because first it was the New Rochelle group. And then it was the, oh, gosh, what is it? What did they call them? The Harlem. That's what it was. It was New Rochelle group, then Harlem group, then immigrant group. And I was in immigrant group, so we were last. At least when it came to, like, main character type stuff. So, then, so, like, we're about to go on stage, or, sorry, I got that flipped. We were first of, like, the main characters, but, like, our ensemble groups went in that order. Sorry. Okay. So, like, our, like, main character, out of the main characters, me and the guy who played Tata, his name was Brandon, like, I saw him for the first time in years, like, not too long ago, and he was like, oh my god, you're an adult. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
So, I, like, was standing there, and all of a sudden, I was like, oh my gosh, I smell blood. And I had a terrible, terrible bloody nose. So I turned to our assistant stage manager and I was like, I have a bloody nose. What do I do? And she was like, go run to the bathroom. Don't get blood on your costume. And I was like,
I love that.
I was like, okay. So I ran to the bathroom and, like, I took care of it. But then, like, our director came backstage after the fact and he was like, why did you miss bows? And, like, he could see the blood, like, all over my face. And, like, I had, like, tissues and piles of tissues. And he was like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, trying to, like, manage this. Like, oh gosh, I remember how bad they used to be.
So this next one is when I was a high school rehearsal volunteer for Little Mermaid Junior, like the middle school troupe at the community theater I used to perform with. This was our last performance of this show, so it made it into our video because we always record on the last day.
Oh no.
And it's Little Mermaid, so the Mer sisters are singing She's in Love, which is like an absolute banger of a song. I love that song so much.
It is.
And that number is when they realize that Ariel is in love with someone and they're trying to, like, kind of guess who it is and all that. And in the first verse, the music just, like, turned off. For no reason. Like, we still don't know why it just, like, randomly turned off.
Theater ghosts, man.
Yeah. And then the booth couldn't figure out, like, where they were at in the song. So they just, like, restarted the music while the Mer sisters were still singing, like, on tempo to the original part. And then when Flounder appears, like, halfway through the song-ish and has, like, that little scene of, like, hey, Flounder, do you know what's up with Ariel? Oh, yeah, I know what's up with Ariel. Let me tell you about it, like, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up improvising so much to get to Flounder's cue in the music.
Oh, my gosh.
And, like, they, like, handled it so well. The actress who played Flounder is actually the same one that played Oliver in my Oliver story. So, like, she handles these onstage mishaps so well. I have to hand it to her. I'm actually about to see her in her senior year production next week, and that's so weird to me because she was a little sixth grader in The Little Mermaid when I was a freshman. But, yeah, I love Isabella so much. That's her name.
Cute.
Yeah.
Well, good for them for improvising. Okay, this is my second to last one. This is my penultimate one.
Okay.
So, the year is 2014. I turned 13 in the middle, like, the week before the production of 13 that I was in opened.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was awesome for me. It was cool. I'll tell you a story about that, like, just the two of us.
Okay. You didn't tell your story.
I lost my train of thought. So, okay. Okay. Let me just start over. Kara, cut that out. Let me just start over. I'm sorry. I totally just, like, blanked. So, the year 2014. I turned 13 the week of our tech week, on the day that we sang at Petco Park to sing the national anthem for the Padres game. That was my birthday. So, I had an awesome birthday that year. I also got my first One Direction tickets. My mom has a video of it. It's amazing. I'll post it on the Instagram. So
I have a video kind of like that when I turned 13 as well. And it's when I was getting to New York City for the first time. When I realized that. I'll have to find it and post it as well. We'll have to do a 13th birthday post.
Yeah, we will. Okay, so there's this one scene in like Act 2, I think, when... Okay.
I've never seen 13, so...
Okay, I think it's in Act 2. There's this character named Brett, and he's like the mean guy, right? He's like Kendra's boyfriend, and he's gonna go fight Evan, who's like the main guy, because he's at Dairy Queen with Kendra, and they're just like talking. They're just like friends. And he goes to like fight Evan because he's with Kendra. And all of the kids like run off in a mob screaming like, fight, kick his ass, blah, 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 you know? And so we're running off, and it's a madhouse. There is always traffic pushing, shoving, like trying to get off stage. And at the theater we were working at, we had like poles with lights in the sides. We had like side lights.
Oh, yeah.
And so it always like had to funnel like in each wing because of these like lights. And one day, I don't know what happened or how it happened. All I know is I was going down, and I hit the floor, and I slid, like hardcore slid. Like I was like a freaking penguin, just, and there was something, I don't know what it was. This whole thing was just such a blur. It just happened. And something scraped up my entire knee, just like sliced my whole knee, like from my shin all the way up to like my thigh.
Oh my god.
Not like the bottom of my shin, like the top of my shin, near my kneecap, like up to like the base, like the beginning of my, near my kneecap still. But like it was like a decent, probably 8-inch long cut up my leg. It was huge. And then as I was sliding, I slid into one of the lights, and the lights had been on for, I don't know, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And for those of you who don't do theater, those lights get freaking hot. They get so hot.
Gabby.
Yeah, you have to use like special plastic to color them if they're not color programmable lights, because it will melt other plastic. You have to have a specific type. It's so crazy. So I slid, and I burned my entire shoulder on one of these lights.
Gabby.
So I'm like a freaking mess coming off stage. So I go up to our stage manager, who was hanging out backstage, and she sees me. She saw me fall. She watched it happen. And she was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay. And so like she took me to the bathroom, and we got all cleaned up, and she got me cleaned up. Good thing is, in that show, I had like a jean vest that I wore with like a dress that was just like a, I don't know what are they called, like a strapless dress. Yeah. It was like a strapless skater dress or something. And I had like a jean vest on top of it. Thank God, because my whole shoulder was red. I had like a circle of red on my shoulder from this light. And I had like maybe like 12 Band-Aids on my leg covering up this whole giant like thing. Yeah. That's that story. It was a crazy story. I don't know how. I don't know who pushed me or how I got tripped up, but I went down hard.
So, this next one is actually my last one, and then we'll get into our editor Kara's one that I'll read out. And it is another Music Went Out experience at the same theater when I was also a high school volunteer, just like 3 years later when I was a senior. And this time it was for Schoolhouse Rock Jr.
It's almost as if theater ghosts exist.
Yeah. But this one was during a very bad hurricane. Like, because it was like May in Florida. May or June in Florida.
Okay, that's fair. Was it like Hurricane Isaac or something?
No, it wasn't even like a bad hurricane. It was just like a very big tropical storm that like went in during our matinee.
Okay, it was just hurricane season.
Yeah, it was just hurricane season.
Okay.
And the power went out in the theater. They were able to like get the generator on fast, like to get the lights on. But there were 2 songs that didn't have music. But the cast covered it by, like, singing it, like, a cappella kind of style.
That's
like,
cool.
Backing, like, and then, like, clapping along, and the whole audience, like, started clapping along. It was a great experience.
That's cool.
But how that theater does their middle school and elementary school troops is the elementary school group does, like, the kids, like, Aristocats Kids, and it's, like, the 30-minute production. And then the middle school group does the junior shows that are, like, an hour. So we'll do an intermission between the two, and then, like, show the other one.
That's cool.
My elementary schoolers that I was actually the high school rehearsal assistant for, they all came up to me so scared because they heard that the music went out, and they're like, is it going to happen to us?
Aww.
I was like, no, because, like, we learned from that to, like, have a backup on someone's phone to plug into, like, a Bluetooth speaker in case something like that happens again.
Yeah.
So that was, like, solved for the minis if that happened.
Yeah.
To them. But, yeah.
For sure.
Actually, it was Frog and Toad Jr. Frog and Toad Kids was the kids' show.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my last one, and it's not really a fail again. This is just kind of something that happened to me. Most of these are just things that happened to me. Some of them are kind of bad. Like, the last one was really bad, but, like, this one is just kind of gross.
Yes.
So, like I said, it's not really a fail, but I had one line in Les Mis. I was featured urchin, which the line is, in the Lord's holy name. That's it.
I had that line.
That was me.
I also had that line, but
yes.
Like the thing was ours was because all of Thénardier's gang were women.
Oh,
we were all like posing as like sea urchins to like get more money as part of the gang.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was just an urchin. That's all I was in that show. I was in all of maybe 5 minutes of that show. But anyway, so yeah. I used to get my mic from this guy who was one of the students, and it was usually, so that song comes after like one of the big student numbers.
No, that's right between Master of the House.
Yeah, that's right. Master of the House. That's right. Master of the House.
Yeah, because we had to do a long vamp because they had to have Thénardier's gang show up right after, and they had to go from the bargain to that scene.
That's right. It was Master of the House. So in Master of the House, this guy, he used to have the mic, and he was one of those guys who like get on stage and just like sweat buckets. You know those guys. They get on stage.
That was our Uncle Fester when we did Addams Family.
Yeah.
And I was on makeup for that show, and we had to like fix his bald cap every time he came on stage.
Yeah, the guys who just drench as soon as they step out on stage because of all the lights and costumes and stuff.
That I will not talk about on the podcast regarding him as well, because I don't want like stories to get out.
Okay, so I was like probably like 8 years old when I did this, so little old me would like get my mic from this. He was super tall, like, so I'd be like, thanks, and I would get it, and every night I put it on, and it was warm and wet. Every single night. Warm and just soaked. He was one of the mics that we had to put condoms on because they were so wet.
We just did that with everyone.
We didn't do it with everyone, just most. Every guy
we did that
got
with
one.
Everyone except for those with a latex allergy.
Well, we had the mics in the condoms, and then we had them in mic packs.
Oh, we didn't have the mic packs.
Oh yeah, we had mic belts.
Yeah, you only got one if you were like in like a fight. So like if you had to like fall. So like our Nancy had one because she's literally beaten to death and like is thrown around. Like the girl who played her, my friend Avery, had bruises after the show because of how much she had to like be flung around.
Aww. But yeah, so like every night for like a good while, I would just get this like soaking wet mic pack, and it was really gross. Yep. That's that story.
So this next one is from our editor Kara, and this was her junior year of high school when they were doing The Sound of Music, and she was playing Louisa. to one of the kids. And it was Tech Week, and they were doing, like, the scene that starts Act 2, like, right? So, like, the wedding has just happened. That's end of Act 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Maria and the captain are coming home from their honeymoon at the beginning of Act 2. And it starts out with the kids playing on stage, and they're doing that. They get to the point where Maria and the captain are supposed to come in. Maria comes in, but the captain does not.
Oh, no.
And they try to improv it, but they all suck. And 2 minutes later, the captain walks out shirtless with his microphone taped to his pec. And the director stood up and he went, "Chris, what are you doing?" Chris put on the wrong costume and thought it'd be better to come on shirtless rather than
in the wrong costume.
In the wrong costume.
No, wrong costume. Always wrong costume. Always.
I thought it was so funny when she told me this. And also, Alex told me a funny stage mishap that also happened to him. It was during they were still in rehearsals when he was in Newsies.
Okay.
And you know the scene where Jack is being sent to, like, the cellar and onto the, like, old printing press?
Yeah.
So Alex, our dear friend, he was playing Jack. And they go to throw him, you know, and, like, right now they're having a bench stand in as the printing press.
Mm-hmm.
And he flings himself a little too hard and lands on the bench, and the bench collapses.
That's one of my favorite things is when, like, props just, like, poof, like, as a techie, that's, like, my worst nightmare, but, like, as, like, an observer, I love when that happens.
I agree. I'm so nervous because I'm seeing Mamma Mia next weekend with my sister in it, and I know that they're actually having, like, glass champagne bottles. I'm so nervous.
Oh my gosh, something's gonna happen. Speaking of things happening, there is some crazy fandom news going on.
Yes, and there's one that we don't have on our list that I want to, like, highlight real quick. Raya is now in the parks.
Yes, she is.
Yes. Oh, another one. We Don't Talk About Bruno has topped Let It Go in the charts.
Heck yeah, go We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta pull up the folder so I can look at all the information. Okay.
Oh, I'll talk about my other one that I found out earlier today.
Okay.
Batu East finally got their shipment of lightsabers.
Yay!
So you can go and get your legacy lightsabers all you want. I even saw that they had that new Darth Maul one that they were having in West that has, like, the exposed part with the kyber crystal that you can see in it. Yeah. They have that one there too, and they also have the Darksaber in Batu East now.
Very nice.
Yes.
So, the first big one that we have is that MTI has just released theatrical rights for Newsies Junior, so you can get that at MTI shows. Official Broadway World just posted the first look at the Swept Away musical. There's information for the show at the Official Broadway World page. Go ahead and check that out. Let's see, at Disney World, they have brand new rental strollers that feature some of our friendliest faces. They got Mickey and Minnie strollers at Walt Disney World Resort. Those designs featuring Mickey and Minnie Mouse just rolled out 2 days ago at all 4 parks and at Disney Springs. So 2 days ago would have been January 20th. And then also at January 20th, the new snacks for Lunar New Year have arrived. And just new snacks in general. They have delicious fried tamales that are an amazing addition to the newly refreshed menu at Studio Catering Co. The tamales are masa stuffed with chicken, fried, and topped with salsa verde, sour cream, pickled onions, and cotija cheese. And they are a must-try during your next visit to Disney California Adventure. What's your favorite Disney park snack, they ask, and to let them know in the comments. That's on Instagram at Disneyland News Today. Also from Disneyland News Today, on the 21st, we had a sighting from the characters from Onward, Ian and Bartley Lightfoot, now have their very own gondolas on the Pixar Pal Around. And it looks like one of them is swinging and one of them is not. I could be wrong, but that's just my interpretation from the photos. So go on them at your own risk. You know, those swinging ones, people make fun of them, but they're freaking scary. They're terrifying, okay?
I'll have to take you on the Skyliners when you come to Orlando.
Heck no.
The Skyliner isn't that bad. It's just bad when you're alone and the fireworks are going off at the same time you're in the Skyliner.
that sounds terrifying. Yeah.
I was on FaceTime with Alex when that happened, and I was sad. I was scared.
Oh my gosh. Also from Official Broadway World, on the 21st, the marquee is up for Paradise Square at the Barrymore Theater. Also more information on their page. Also announced 3 days ago, so that would be on the 19th, they just announced the second wave of Hamilton Pops. We're going to get a King George Hamilton Funko Pop, a Hamilton in his like green outfit Funko Pop, Thomas Jefferson, as well as James Madison. And they are all really freaking cool. So those are coming out soon. Lunar New Year, like food, has started coming out at Disney California Adventure and Disney parks all across the globe. So that's coming up.
And then I'll do the last one that we have.
Oh yeah, go for it.
On my side of the world. And it is at Disney's Hollywood Studios in 2022. We are going to get the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. It is a plus a new experience with help from the Tootinous Cowgirl Jessie. And for a full roundup, visit the Disney Parks blog.
Yep. So that's what's going on.
A lot of fandom news.
In fandom news this week.
Yes.
So we will see you guys in the outro.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Fan Fatales. We are a proud part of the Real Fans Network.
That's right. There's a huge variety of shows to listen to, like Real Fans for Real Movies, Holy Batcast, the All Batman Podcast, Disorder, Every Disney Movie, and Please Rewind, the Retro Movie Show, and many, many more.
Join us next week where we'll be starting our kind of 2-week celebration of Valentine's Day with reviewing romantic comedies.
Remember to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, and we are on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Please leave us a review or comment down below and tell us what you thought of the show. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FanFatalesPod for the latest updates and to possibly be featured in a future episode. Now, Emma, where can the people find you on social media?
So my Instagram and TikTok are both at SnippyEmma, which is SnippyEmma. What about you, Gabs?
I'm at Gaby Gent on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. That's GABYJENT.
Our music is by our amazing friend, Maddie Macon.
And our editing is by the wonderful Kara Linsmeyer.
And as always, thank you for tuning in. Bye!
Bye! The views expressed in this episode do not reflect the brand or company